now. Rijal draws the referee's attention to that, which is good by him. So Gerard. He is set to replace Nabil. And what an effort from Nabil today. Looks to have given it absolutely everything he's got. All round they've given it everything they've got. And we're heading around to 80 minutes and they're still in front against Inter. Rasul just keeps it simple. That's ideal. Just knock it over the top. Squeeze up the play. Make Inter work hard. They've shown a lot of maturity for most of this second half. Chiesa. Got to happen now for Inter. He has to go along with it. They don't like to do that. Outnumbered there. It's not in their DNA to play that way, but Garuda have forced them into it. It appears as though 4 additional minutes are to play. De Pieri. Got to be careful here, Ferre. They'll accept getting a corner out of it, I think. Ferre saying, well, where were you? You should have come and helped me. Well, he would do, wouldn't he? I think Rasul was trying to do his best. Now they must defend this corner, Garuda. It wouldn't settle down for Garanetti. They do win it. Foyce has it back for Inter. Chiesa. It's out of play. Marini's frustrated. We're running down the clock. And another way, of course, to do that, at all levels, make the changes as late as possible. And Raheem is now set to come on. Here's the opposing number 11, Vanzuli. No way through. Ferre was there. Mazzara. Rafley to Rasul. Just give it simple, Rasul. Felix. Foyce. Need a bit of invention into, but they're not finding it. They've been forced to run out of ideas by Garuda Select today. Della Mora, has he got more in his locker? He's found a decent pass into Spinacci. But that's as good as it got for Inter. Marini again cannot get on the end of it. So Raheem will get a late run out. And Hanif goes off. It's getting touchy, as it would do. Inter's big reputation is being sullied a little bit. Everybody's got to keep their heads. Mazzara must compose himself and get back. Referee's surely going to allow Inter some more time because Garuda have eaten up the clock here. But it's out of play, and they may complain about the time being used up in stoppage time, but Inter have only got to look at themselves, the way they have played, the longer this game has gone. They've run out of ideas, and that is all the credit of Garuda Select. The assistant looks at the watch. It's all on the referee now. De Pieri shut down forcibly. Foyes, who has tried to force the issue. Gavarini, he's shut down. Mazzara needs to find a space and play the ball into it, and he's lost the ball. Inter are going to be given a free kick, it looks like. Referee is being issued the first yellow of the day. Very, very late indeed now. And they're all appealing to the referee to call a halt. We've played 85. A little bit off the ball, perhaps. But Mazzara needed to move the ball on and find a white shirt. He couldn't do so. And then referee came sliding in. Inter probably wanted the game to be allowed to continue, but the referee was intent on calling them back. So a bit more defending to do. Marini takes it for Inter. Riggio with a great header. Mazzara can't get to it, but Rasul did so. Referee now looks at the watch. It's almost time. It has to be time up, surely. Inter still have it in play. It's off Ragil. Be careful here. So close to creating something right at the end, but Ferry belts it clear. And now the final whistle goes. And if you thought last week was good, this is something else for the Garuda Select. Season 5, and probably the greatest result that the Garuda Select have ever produced. They have beaten mighty Inter in the Senegalia today, the home of Como FC. There's such a symmetry to it all. What a moment for Mola and the enterprise and ambition behind the project. But the players are the ones who've earned it today. They have been simply brilliant against an outstandingly talented Inter side, the best in Italy. Not used to losing, but they have lost on merit today, and every single Garuda Select player has shown improvement, determination, will, and some measure of class. They got 2 terrific goals in the second half, having gone behind, and they showed that old Garuda Select fighting spirit. They picked themselves up and got going again, and Inter simply could not match it. But what a match it was, and what a win for the Garuda Select, live here on Mola.
Enemy of my enemy is
behind for scarcely a minute. What a response from the Garuda Select. From the edge of the box, Rafley, similar position, right-footed strike, beauty, Lotra, and they turned it around in no time in that second half, and that set up what is going to be remembered as surely the greatest day so far in the nearly 5 years of this Garuda Select project. They have beaten the best team at under 17 level in Italy, a name renowned around the world of football. We've seen some talented players in opposition today from Inter Milan, but Garuda Select had too much game all round. What a performance, a merited victory. I'm simply delighted by that, Lee. I feel privileged to have watched it. What's your initial reaction?
I absolutely loved it. I just have to voice and echo what you were saying. That was the best I've seen. The whole, Garuda from day dot to where we are now, that was pleasing, and I'm pretty sure the coaching staff will be over the moon with that performance today.
I remember you on the touchline at Northampton Town match day 1. We were both looking at each other going, this is ambitious, this is
super.
It's amazing to
it's
come
a journey
so far. I mean, look, that's not this season, that's the long journey, as you're about to say, I think, 4.5 years
and that's
ago.
it. We've been on a journey where we've seen highs, lows. This is the highest you're going to come up against. As you said, this is one of the Italian giants that they've just gone out and put a fantastic performance, but the response from going 1-0 down, absolutely brilliant.
And And the great thing is, it's not a flash in the pan. It was a very good performance against AC Milan last week, and this victory was earned. There's nothing fortuitous about this today, is there?
No, definitely not. It's been coming. I just think the balance of the defence, we're starting to see snippets of it in that forward line where I said, I think we've got a highlight Nabil, and
Terrific today.
Yeah, he did, because he's worked the line in behind, which has enabled Garuda to get high up the pitch, stretching the game. We touch on how good Lotra is, but he needs someone up there with him.
That was the little sighter from Rafley. He'd been quiet, and that's late in the first half there. He'd been quiet, keeping his position, holding the game tight, but he always has that ability, Lee, as a midfield player, to go up the end and do something special in front of the penalty box.
He does, but he also gets back and defends, really well, which I love the whole team ethic today. And I'll highlight this bit here. Matteo getting back on his line, defenders making sure if it comes past, they're there to try and stop that ball going in the net. That was one thing. There was Rafley getting back, defending from corners, heading, putting his neck on the line. It was brilliant. It really was.
A club like Inter, they're famous for another reason, and you've been around the top of the game. They've done so many things well in this second half. It's a terrific finish to put them in front.
That was worrying because they started the game, the second half particularly well. It was a super well worked goal. That is typical top class Italian saying. It is. It really is. The passing, the ability to go by players, and the finish was exquisite as well. So he put the icing on the cake. This is what I
scarcely a minute later. This is
brilliant. The response, and I tell you what, Lotra forcing it high up the pitch. I'll tell you what, when you talk about if you don't shoot, you don't score. That is prime. That is exactly why, because we can question the goalkeeper, but if you hit it with enough pace, you're hitting it on target.
Look at the bounce as well.
Yes, it's the bounce beforehand. Exactly. It's really hard to judge for a goalkeeper. So, we could say he should have done better, but the big bounce over him, just the work ethic, aggressive. It was brilliant. It was so
hunting
good.
in a pack.
Have a look at Rafley here. Watch him. He passes his ball. He doesn't stand still. He wants it again. And then all of a sudden, we're taking him hard the pitch again. Yes, it's not the great ball, but you have to admire what we're seeing.
What a hit that
is. Brilliant. And the goalkeeper, yes, again you could say he could have maybe done better, but you're hitting it with pace. It's spinning. It's hard for the goalkeeper. I just love the fact that they're taking them shots on. I said about being clinical in games. Second half was a joy to be a part of and a joy to watch. It really was. And again, it's listening to you in commentary, there was lots that I liked, but the game management in particular, when they went 2-1 up, they got back, they worked in their units. Yes, and we've got the likes of Des, we've got Dennis, who have been around big games, and you can hear the man managing on the side. Danny Holmes, there's lots there that can sort of guide these youngsters.
And I know there was pressure late on, as one would expect of an Inter Milan, but there's a lot of this. Hopeful hits. That's different for me from Rafley from the edge of the box, who knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
Look how wide the angle is.
Yeah.
Against a goalkeeper of Matteo's quality. He's not going to score from there, is he?
Totally not. And you hit the nail on the head. And the fact of it was, they ran out of ideas. And that's credit to the boys of getting back. Look at the amount of white shirts, getting across the pitch, going out, pointing over there. It was brilliant. That's why I say game management. That, you could probably highlight is that, Felix is just ball watching. He's got to open his shoulders a little bit. But was he going to score from there? I think he's got to pull something spectacular out.
Technically, some very, very good players in this Inter setup, as we expected today. I think several of them have got a big chance, but they've had a lesson today, and Inter as a club will pick up on this with their